Methods of propagation. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define plant propagation, explain the different methods for propagating mulberry plants. Gardening is the hobby of many people for relaxation and to stimulate the body and mind. A well-maintained garden is a beauty to see, cherish a sense of wonder in life and feel a sense of relaxation through the smell of blooms. Gardening is a pastime activity and is considered to be a part of horticulture that concentrates on tending and cultivating a garden. A rose is one of the most beautiful flowers found among gardening plants. A rose plant can be grown in our garden either by sowing seeds or planting a branch cutting. Thus, the methodology through which a new plant can be created either by sowing a seed or using a branch cutting is termed as plant propagation. Similar to the rose plant, mulberry plants can also be propagated through different processes. Now, let us see about the various methods of propagation for mulberry plants. The two common methods that are used for propagating mulberry plants are seedling and vegetative methods. The latest method of propagation, recently adapted from the advancement in the field of biotechnology, is known as micropropagation. Now, let us see about the seedling method of propagation. Seedling propagation is a method of cultivation of mulberry plants through seeds. Let us learn about the cultivation process of mulberry plants by seedling propagation. The nursery bed for a seedling is selected in a shady area such that the seedling area is not exposed to direct sunlight and excessive temperature. The soil in the nursery bed is prepared and made fine by mixing equal quantity of red soil and farmyard manure by ploughing. The seeds extracted from the ripe fruits are used for the seedling. Mulberry seeds have no dormancy period and the freshly collected seeds from the ripe fruits have high germination percentage. The seeds should not be stored for more than 3 months since germination ability of the seeds reduces after a certain period of time. If it is required to store the seeds for a longer period, it should be stored in sealed, airtight containers in a cold place. The seeds are checked for viability by 4 methods before they are used in germination. They are flotation, use of vital dyes, electrical conductance test, and embryonic behavior. Among the methods mentioned above, flotation method is commonly preferred. The flotation test for testing seed viability is done by soaking the seeds in water for 24 hours to soften the tester seed coat. The unfertilized, unviable and insect-infected seeds are removed. The viable seeds obtained are either broadcast in the field or sown individually in holes in a line marked with a rope. The seeds should not be sown at depths more than 25 mm since the seeds fail to germinate due to lack of oxygen in deeper layers of soil. Environmental temperature and light also affect the germination of seeds. The minimum, optimum and maximum temperature for seed germination are 18 to 21 degrees Celsius, 33 to 36 degrees Celsius and 36 to 39 degrees Celsius respectively. Violet, blue and bright light are harmful for germination. In dark conditions, germination is controlled by temperature, that is, time taken for germination in dark conditions is 10 days at 27 degrees Celsius, 8 days at 30 degrees Celsius and 6 days at 33 to 36 degrees Celsius in dark. Irrigation is done either by can or drip method so that the seeds are not drifted away towards one side or drawn to deeper layers. Leaves are used to cover the bed to protect the germinating seeds from excessive sunlight. After 3 months of sowing, the first transplant is done to give a wider space of 22.5 cm between them. After 2 years, The plants are either transplanted to the final location or used for cutting or as stalks for grafting methods. The main disadvantage of seedling propagation is that the quality of the variety cannot be maintained as the mulberry is normally a wind-pollinated plant. Vegetative propagation is the more commonly preferred method of propagation in mulberry plants than the seedling propagation. The method is commonly preferred due to the following advantages. The desired hereditary character can be maintained. A large number of plants can be raised quickly and economically. Pest and disease-resistant plants can be raised. Plants adapted to specific localities can be grown. The vegetative propagation is done either by using one of the following three main techniques: cutting, grafting, and layering. Cutting is the most popular vegetative propagation method of mulberry cultivation in South India. The cutting used for propagation should have the following qualities. Shoots used for cutting should have proper maturity and thickness with active and well-developed buds. Tender branches and over-mature branches should be rejected. Branches of thickness 10 to 12 mm diameter from 8 to 10-month-old plants of the desired variety are used for preparing cuttings. In the case of long cutting, a minimum of 3 internodes with well-developed buds are used for irrigated plantation, and shoots with 5 to 6 internodes are used for rain-fed plantation. The ends of cutting should be cleanly cut with no splits or peelings in the bark. The cuttings are planted directly in the field or grown in a nursery bed and then transplanted. Based on the type of branches, the cuttings are classified into softwood cutting and hardwood cutting. A softwood cutting is commonly preferred since they have higher success rate. Grafting is a technique of joining the parts of two plants in such a way that they unite and grow as a single plant. This method is adopted when the rooting ability of the plant cutting is poor. The two parts of plants in grafting are called as scion and stalk. Scion is the shoot of the new plant used as the upper portion of the graft combination. The stalk is the basal or root portion of the future plant of the graft combination. Grafting is done following 5 methods: root grafting, shoot grafting, whip grafting, wedge grafting, bud grafting. In root grafting, the stalk of length 5 to 7.5 cm and thickness 0.6 to 2.5 cm are selected from 1 to 2-year-old seedling plant. Scion bits of 8 to 10 cm length with well-developed 2 or 3 buds are selected. The top end of the stalk is cut obliquely and the corresponding oblique cut is given to the basal end of the scion. The bark of the scion is removed and inserted at the pointed end of the stalk in between the wood and the bark. The two are tied and covered with grafting wax. The organic fusion takes place at the joints and the plants develop from the buds with desired characteristics. Sometimes root grafting is done without removing the stalk from the soil, which is stated as in situ grafting. In shoot grafting, the scion is inserted into the stem portion. Hence, it can be stated as stem grafting. To get a bushy growth, more than one scion is inserted into the stalk. It is called crown grafting. In whip grafting, the stalk and scion of 1.2 to 2.5 cm thickness is given a sloping cut to a length of 3.5 to 5 cm, fitted exactly and tied with fiber and sealed with grafting wax. In wedge grafting, to renovate the old plant, the plants are pruned to a convenient height and a V-shaped incision is made at the cut surface. The basal portion of the scion is cut obliquely in such a way that it fits the notch of stalk perfectly. The scion and stalk are inserted exactly and tied with fiber and sealed with grafting wax. Generally, scion in another grafting is selected with a 3 well-developed bud, but in the case of bud grafting, only one bud scion will be used. This method avoids transmission of diseases through scion as it uses only a small portion of it. But the disadvantage of this method is that it takes a very long time to grow. Bud grafting is done by three methods. They are patch budding, tea budding, flute budding. In patch budding, a portion of bark with a bud is removed from the stalk and sealed with grafting wax. Tea budding, in which a T-shaped incision is made in the stalk at the nodal region into which the scion bud is inserted, bandaged and sealed. This appears like a shield and hence it is called as shield budding. In flute budding, the bark of the stalk is removed to a length of 2.5 to 3.5 cm around the plant. The bud of the scion with the same length of bark is placed in the region and bandaged. In layering method of propagation, the root is developed from the stem while attaching with mother plant. The rooted stem is detached and grown as a new plant. This rooted stem is called as a layer. The main advantage of this method is that it is simple. The roots will not get dried up as in cutting or grafting and are also safer than the other methods of vegetative propagation. The disadvantage of this method is that it consumes a large amount of time, is expensive, and unsuitable for large-scale multiplication. In simple layering, the bark is removed from the lower branch of a mulberry bush and bent in such a way that the branch comes into contact with the soil and is covered with soil. Roots develop in the covered region and the branch is cut from the parent plant to lead an independent existence. In trench layering method, a branch of the plant is bent horizontally to a considerable length and covered with mud and manure. This method is popular in Japan. After a certain period of time, new shoots develop from the buds and roots develop below the soil. Air layering is also known as gutting. Roots develop after 1 to 2 months and the branch is severed from the parent and planted to develop into a new plant. The seedling or vegetative propagation methods like cutting, grafting or layering require a local variety of rooting to take place and a long time for establishment. There is no scope for improvement and manipulation of varieties in these methods. In order to develop new varieties and to propagate in short duration, micropropagation methods are used. In micropropagation methods, the required tissues are taken from the host plant and cultured in a medium and allowed to form callus. From the callus, new plants are allowed to develop with the improved potential of the plant. Micropropagation methods are done by the concept of genetic engineering. The following are some of the common genetic methods followed: tissue culture, production of haploids and homozygous lines, endosperm culture, synthetic seeds, induction of somaclonal variation, protoplast culture, and somatic hybridization. Summary: plant propagation is the process of creating new plants from seeds or cuttings. Seedling propagation is a method of cultivation of mulberry plants through seeds. The vegetative propagation is done by cutting, grafting, or layering.